Hello, my name is Talia, and I am a co-founder of Shams Stationery. And I recently started junk journaling. This video is a couple of weeks old, but um, for the most part, I am very new to junk journaling and the world of junk journaling. And what I want to do here in this series that I'm starting on YouTube and just kind of sharing with you guys as I go along is the junk journal journey, because I think tactile um, scrapbooking and just like crafts is very therapeutic and fun, and also because this junk journaling endeavor is actually what brought Shams Stationery to fruition, wildly enough. We went to Japan, my husband and I, and when we went to Japan, I was thoroughly enthralled by all the stationery there. I have always loved stationery, but I want to say in the last like 10-ish years, I've been more realistic about what stationery I use versus like hoard, because there's a lot of stationery that I owned for a long time. And, I had notebooks just kind of collecting dust, notebooks that I'd use like the first 5 pages and then I'd move on to the next notebook. And then I was gifted an iPad after graduating college, which was a very generous gift from my mother, but I didn't really need it in the sense that like I wasn't in school anymore and I wanted to put it to use. And what I found myself using it for was digital like planning and digital scrapbooking. So with that, I became a lot more, there's a word I'm looking for. I became a lot more economical around my purchases that were like stationery related, because I was like, okay, well, I'm not really using stationery that much, because I have my iPad and I'm using my iPad to, scrapbook and like as a planner. But I don't know. There's just something about a planner versus like a digital planner versus like paper and pencils and pens and all these things that just doesn't translate. Like I love my iPad. I love using it. I love the versatility of it and like the ease of transportation, and like I only need, my Apple Pen and like the iPad and that's it. But I really still love like stickers and just like pens and pretty colors. And I wanted to kind of find a way to capitalize off of that from my trip in Japan. And what that led to was me going on a shopping spree in Japan. Um, but during my shopping spree, there was a gap that I had noticed before, but kind of noticed again. And I was complaining to my cousin, and I was like, oh, I just wish there was more stickers and like just relatable stationery, mostly stickers and just like craft supplies that were kind of more oriented to my experiences, my background, my heritage. Um, I come from a biracial background and I'm Muslim. And so I'm very familiar with being able to find digital stickers of, someone celebrating Christmas. Every year there's like these Christmas sticker releases, but not that many for Ramadan and not that many for Eid. It's becoming a little bit more common now, but I would still say it's just like not enough when you consider how many Muslims there are in the world. I'm sure I'm not the only stationary head Muslim. And so my cousin and I, with our skill sets, have come together and decided to bring you guys Shams Stationery. Um, this series is to kind of an ode to the tactile experience, and maybe one day Shams can include more physical stickers and the like. But for now, we're going to focus on digital stickers as a company, and this will be our tactile experience. You guys will junk journal with me, and I am going to do a voiceover, and this will be a one-shot voiceover. Hopefully I'm not stumbling too much for your benefit, but let me know if maybe I need to not do a one shot. Maybe I need to edit it a bit. And let me know what you think of the junk journaling recording. Like, is it too fast? Is it too slow? This is at, I believe, a times two speed, just because, I don't know, I feel like my attention span isn't that great, but maybe yours is better. Do you like having the like ASMR, noise of me working? There's kind of like the rustlings of my packaging and papers, and me flipping the book and writing stuff down. Um, and moving forward, each episode, we'll call them episodes, each junk journaling session would be me kind of just like creating a spread based off of my life, honestly. So I guess I'm kind of sharing a part of myself with you all. And I really do ask that as I'm vulnerable with you, you're like nice to me. Don't judge me too hard. I really wanted to lean into junk journaling because I really loved my digital scrapbooking, but I hadn't been doing it in a while because I have such focus around what I want my spread to look like. And I'll get really like backlogged because, like, oh, I went on a trip to Pakistan with my husband and I want every picture to be really like cute and have the spread look really pretty. But then by the time I'm done with Pakistan, it's like 8 months later and I've done like, five weddings, a different trip, and, maybe some other personal things that I want to catalog. And because I was so focused on that first spread, I'm like super behind. And so I got really stressed and I'm kind of like, we could say I'm using my junk journaling to kind of avoid scrapbooking at this point, really. But art is what you make of it. And I've always loved creativity and expression of self. And as a writer, I find great dependence on like the beauty of language and the beauty of like expressing oneself with and without words. Nonverbal cues are just as important as verbal ones, if not more in some cases. Um, so in the other episodes and sessions of junk journaling, I'll probably share the logic behind the spread, but we're just starting here, like there's no finite rules. And if there's something you want to see when I'm junk journaling, if there's a certain way you want it recorded, just let me know. For this particular spread, a little bit about it is we went to a like vintage antique kind of farmer's market, and I found a bunch of like postcards. And this particular postcard with the black and white with the road and the shadows of the trees reminded me of my husband because he's a photographer. And while we were driving around one day just for him to take photos, he basically took a photo very much like this. Um, and it was still December when I made this spread. So I was actually trying to go for winter vibes, which was the logic behind the blue paper. And then as I was doing the stamp, I was going to do like winter is here or something. But then I was like, that sounds kind of like Game of Thrones vibes, which I have never watched actually. And it wasn't what I wanted. And then I was like, let me do like winding roads, but I ran out of space. So we ended up with winding. And then I was inspired to write a small poem, kind of like inspired by the photo, making me think of my husband. And everything else is just aesthetics, it's vibes, it's just pretty stickers here and there. Most of the things that I unwrap in all of these videos, because I have some more videos coming up, but most of the videos I unwrap, most of the videos where I unwrap stuff, it's just another thing I purchased in Japan during my little haul of shopping. Let me know if you want to see the haul. I have a video of it, but it's honestly like embarrassing how much stationery I bought. The only thing that gives me peace is knowing that I like saved money buying it in Japan as opposed to here in California. The prices in California are way worse. So I would have spent at least double, if not triple. Um, I guess that's really all in terms of the logic of the spread, but I could read the poem. I'm not really sure how to stylistically set up this video. So this is very much a tester video. Um, if you hated it, if you liked it, just let me know in a like, what's the constructive criticism way, with a little niceness, because I am a fragile gal. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed the first junk journaling session with me. I am very pleased to share this with you all, and I let me know if you are a junk journalist and if you have any like tips, because I'm going blind here. This spread, I actually quite like it for my first spread, and I'm trying not to dwell too much on whether or not I like the spread. I want to focus on like the tactile experience, the process of art, as opposed to the end result. I think in life we focus on the end result a little too much, so I didn't want to do that with this art. But that being said, I did like the end result of this one more so than some others that I have done since making this one. And with that, I will leave you with the poem. Widening roads remind me of your keen eye. You see beauty all around, so when you say I'm beautiful, I have no choice but to believe your words. My heart listens to your honeyed voice more than my loud thoughts. All right, so that's all for now. Let me know what your thoughts are of this spread. What is your favorite part? What would you perhaps have done slightly different? And with that, I bid you a Shams day.